Hello and welcome to the A&A Coffeehouse. Have a seat wherever you like. Adam and Anthony will be with you shortly. And our specials this week include Obama's gun control, Oregon militias, and Iran versus Syria round 1.
So grab yourself a cup of coffee and tune in. Hello and welcome to another episode of the A&A Coffeehouse podcast. I am your host, Anthony DeFranco, with your host, Adam Kincaid, with our producer, Ariel Ayers, and with our guest host, Alvaro Gutierrez. Everyone say hello.
Hey,
hello.
everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
So this is our first episode we're recording in the year 2016. How is 2016 treating everybody so far?
Great.
Yeah, good.
Oh, frankly, last year treated us well as well on an individual level. The world, however, as we will see, is still pretty screwed up.
Oh yeah, it got worse probably now.
We were being selfish for a
Especially
second,
with North
Sorry,
Korea.
great. We're so good. We're so good.
North Korea supposedly has the H bomb.
Yep, they say they have a hydrogen bomb.
Mm-hmm.
We doubt them.
Yeah, because of the magnitude when they measured it. Yeah,
And it's North Korea.
Yeah, too. Yeah, I think it's because Iran got a deal, so now they're like, well, if we say we have the H bomb, maybe they'll do a deal with us and give us more money.
Yep. And did you hear we have a new presidential candidate?
No.
Yeah. It's Gary Johnson. Is that right?
Yes.
Gary Johnson, the former governor of New Mexico, has thrown his hat into the ring. He's effectively a Republican. He's running for the Libertarian Party rather than the Republicans, because he believes that since he has Republican economic ideas and more liberal social positions, he can draw from both parties and win the nomination.
Wow.
And win the election.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think he
sounds
overestimates himself.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He just needs to be sure he can get on all the ballots in all the states that'll approve it.
All the states that will approve it.
Yeah, because usually you have to go state by state when trying to become a presidential candidate.
Yeah.
You have to fill out the papers for each state and things like that.
That's because some states have different standards. Some states don't allow third parties. Some states require a percentage of vote or an amount of money raised.
States with higher standards just don't accept libertarians.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree on the libertarians on some stuff, but they want government really, really small where it's not functional, and that's just nuts. It's like, wow. Oh, wow, Adam just showed me some Doctor Who books he has here in his library.
You're putting them really close to his face.
They're like getting very intimate with the books here, you know.
It's really weird.
Anyhow, as we've seen in our previous mention of the Libertarian candidate for Senate in Florida, Libertarians are thoroughly ridiculous people.
Yeah.
All right.
I have to agree.
Yes, of course I am. They're Libertarians. They're everything they think is abhorrent to me.
All right. Topic number 1. Much to everyone's surprise, a couple days ago, President Barack Obama.
The Barack Obama?
Yep.
That's the self-same one.
The one who is at the White House right now?
Yeah, the black one.
What?
Yeah.
He's black?
Big surprise.
I did not know this.
One of our students was surprised.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had to teach one of our students that Obama was black. She saw a picture and she was like, "Who's that black dude?" I was like, "That's the president." And she's like, "No, the black one." And I was like, "Yeah, that's the president." She goes, "No, Obama's the president." And I was like, "Yes, Obama's black." And she was like, "What? What? No."
I was just joking. I really believe he's black, but now his birth certificate though is very questionable.
I didn't know that was. Oh dear.
I'm just kidding. I believe he's an American also. Some reason Adam and Ariel giving each other like hand symbols in front of me.
I was asking which kid.
Oh.
And I was signing the name because we don't want to be saying
We
it.
shouldn't be saying it in the
Okay.
podcast.
Yes.
That's why we were signing it, because I was curious who.
Oh, okay.
So Barack Obama, he's been trying to get something passed on gun control for quite some time now.
Probably most of his term.
Yeah.
Unless it's 2 terms.
And with good reason. There have been a great many mass shootings, and he has to keep coming out and announcing them. And I believe we even talked about his announcement the other day where he came out saying this is becoming routine. The shootings are routine. My answer to the shootings are routine. The response is routine. Everything is becoming routine, and nothing happens. Well, now something's happening because he's decided to ignore Congress, go around them, and pass some gun control by himself. So, what does y'all think about that?
Oh, I know stuff he passed that he did with executive action, of course, won't affect me, or the average gun owner, unless they're like on the terrorist watch list and senile, they can't go on a plane. I think one of the things that President Obama was talking about for one of his executive orders, it's supposed to that if there's mental health issues, for example, like there's elderly people who are gun owners who have mental health issues. Like you don't want somebody with like
depression.
Yeah, depression.
Or maybe they're sociopathic.
Or dementia or something. You don't want those people that have guns.
Even under the new laws, people with depression are still allowed to have guns.
Yes, I'm saying mental health is more meaning that, not
just mental health.
Meaning age.
Yes.
So,
it's referring
it would
to...
be unfortunate if people who are feeling depressed and have guns didn't go to seek help because they are afraid they would be taken away. That would be terrible.
Yeah. It's referring more to dangerous tendencies, rage management, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Psychotic,
Being
schizophrenic.
Sociopathic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed to, like, if you're... go with Social Security, like there's supposed to be a database also with Social Security that gets shared with the government and things like that of people's mental issues. Yeah. If there is any.
Well, like, we used to have something like that in this country before Ronald Reagan disbanded it. So we're actually kind of just going back to what was already there.
Did he disband it when he was governor, or was it when he was president?
Apparently, from what I understand, he did it in California when he was governor. He definitely did it nationally when he was president.
Oh, okay.
So both.
But going off topic from him, California did that the law now takes effect in California. If a family member thinks another family member is, who owns a gun is a danger to themselves or others, they can actually get a temporary restraining order on that family member.
No.
Yeah. So if there's some mental health issues, like someone's suicidal or things like that, they can be like, hey, they own guns, take it away from them temporarily.
Yeah, and again, everyone keeps talking about how he's taking unilateral action. He's not doing all that much, actually. He's putting in some stricter background checks. He's doing some more stuff to help with mental health. And he's actually not doing all that much. He is getting some stuff done.
The White House fact sheet, and the things that they're proposing seem to be quite modest. Making it so that anyone who sells guns to their business has to do a fact check. Well,
that's what we have to do now.
Has to do background checks regardless of the venue they're selling it through. It doesn't matter if you're in a gun show or the internet or an actual gun store. You have to do background checks. Things like not letting people buy guns through trusts, so that no one finds out that they, who are forbidden from having them, are actually procuring them. So things that are, I think, a lot of people agree with?
Yeah, a lot of logical stuff, but a lot of people are just pissed off about it because it's bypassing Congress.
Well, Congress keeps saying they won't do jack shit.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah, today.
I think
anything that is done seems to be bypassing Congress.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And as far as that goes right there, the background checks, you were saying most people agree with it, it's 89% of people support it.
According to what?
According to polls done out of Quinnipiac University.
Now, here's a point that Anthony raised earlier before we started recording. A lot of these proposals mean a lot of money. New ATF agents overhauling the background check system. That's putting millions of dollars into mental health.
It's the funding.
It's millions and millions of dollars. And the president doesn't have a right to assign, to allocate resources. That's Congress.
Yeah, it has to go straight to Congress.
So Congress is going to have a big say as to how much of this is actually implemented anyways.
Yeah, it's like the last big executive order he did was the immigration reform that he did with using his executive orders.
Yeah.
The thing was, Congress did give him the money for it. Did piss off a lot of the extremist Republicans, though. But the thing is, will they this time, because it's an election year, will they give him the money again, the more moderates? Or, just bypass extremists with the help of the Democrats?
Because it's an election year, they're more likely to give him the money because most of their constituents who want the gun control passed.
Exactly. He's not putting forward these completely harebrained schemes on gun control. These are things that have a huge consensus. So if they vote against giving this funding, they're going on record against these widely supported measures. So I think they'd have trouble going against this. Although they might lose money from some of their funders.
Right, but it seems ridiculous that some of these things aren't laws already.
Yeah. I mean, it's this normal common sense stuff.
Well, and as far as what Alvaro was just saying goes, I think it's unlikely that they're even going to lose money from the gun lobby. Because right now it's going back for them to vote yes or no, do they fund it? Their constituents want them to fund it. So if they want to get reelected, they're better off funding the gun control things. And then if the gun lobby does get pissy and stop funding them, they will then vote for more gun control. So the gun lobby doesn't want that.
Oh yeah,
So after they vote to help Obama on this, the gun control lobby should still continue to pay them so that more doesn't happen to them.
Yeah, the gun lobby right now is just going. I know the couple days before the announcement, and then after the announcement, they're just going crazy on their advertising rhetoric and stuff.
Oh boy, like some of the Republican candidates.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys hear House Speaker Paul Ryan?
Briefly today, I know he was like all upset about it.
Yeah, I love how some of these people literally are ignoring what Obama says.
But they said he
and what is happening.
Though. They said that he was first for it, but then he was against it.
Against what?
Against the executive orders or something like that. He agrees with some of the stuff the president did.
Oh,
with the
Paul
executive
Ryan?
orders. Yeah.
Oh no, Paul Ryan definitely flipped several times.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying the president was flip-flopping.
No, not
and I was like, from what?
That's the first time I ever saw the president cry.
Oh, that's something that's annoying me. Not to go off. It's not off topic, but so many people are saying that he's faking.
Oh yeah, Fox
He's
News.
not faking.
Fox News is saying that he's faking tears.
Why can't the man be?
He's
horrified?
faking emotion.
Yeah. Why can't somebody be horrified by how many murders there have been?
Yeah.
And that our government isn't taking care of the thing that is essentially enabling this.
Well, plus apparently politicians have a bizarre idea of what crying means because Obama got mildly choked up.
Yeah.
He did not cry.
Well, he did.
Just like when Muskie back in the day.
There were some tears coming out of his eyes.
It was just like Muskie back in the day when Muskie was running. Muskie got teary-eyed and was crying, and they turned into a campaign slogan: "Vote for Muskie or he'll cry." And if you go back and look at the video, he's talking, giving a speech, and he rubs his eye. He says, "It's snowing out. Some snow got in my eye, so I rubbed it." And a lot of people think that's why he lost the election. Is because he was such a crier.
Topic number 2.
All right. So, there's a little incident going on in Oregon right now.
A little incident?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Paquito, not that
Me
bad.
too.
So,
Which one Adam says it?
in Oregon,
Feel for excited.
there was... Look, I'm going to jump to the point first. In Oregon, a number of armed militia members have seized and taken over a government building.
So they've committed treason.
They are holding the building,
By definition.
and we are currently in day 6 of the standoff, I believe.
I will
Maybe it's day
fact check
5. Here we go. Let us know in a minute. Yeah. So we are several days into this standoff. Before we actually get into details, what do you guys think about that? Alvaro already said he says it's treason.
I actually have a instinctive sympathy towards a lot of these people, particularly the original thing. People who have been grazing lands for a very long time, and suddenly the government wants to kick them out. I'd say that by custom, they at least according to Roman law, they have acquired rights to that land, and kicking them off is unjustified, and all these things. But As far as that sympathy goes, the moment you enter with guns into a public building and take it over, you are committing treason against the government of your government, or this is an act of sedition, and that's a crime.
Well, so they're hoping two things. One of which I actually agree with them on. Again, they're handling it incorrectly. There's a family, father and son, called the Hammonds. Dwight Hammond Jr. is 73, and Stephen Hammond is his son. He is 46. 3 years ago, they were convicted of arson for starting a fire on federal property. Mind you, there was already a fire. A big fire heading towards their farm, and so they lit a bunch of stuff on fire to make a fire break.
That's a very common firefighting
Yes,
method.
and so it worked. They saved their property.
Good.
And they put out their fire. The government accused them of arson, and they both served 3 years in prison.
That's ridiculous.
They were both then released. And then a judge in the town said, you know what? I don't think that was long enough. And recharged them and sentenced them to 4 more years.
Can you recharge?
No.
Not really.
You can't be
but it
charged for
happened.
the same thing twice.
Well,
The judge said they were let out
I mean,
too
for the
soon
same
and sent them
crime,
back for 4 more years after releasing them.
That's
Well,
not.
we'll have to see with what I'm assuming what the judge did followed some sort of legal procedure. So
That's
we'll
what the
have to
militia's
see.
protesting right now.
Right, but we'll have to see what mechanism the
Yeah,
judge did.
but
Otherwise, instead of taking a government building, they could appeal.
Yeah.
But the family the lawyer of the family said that the family does not condone anything that these guys have been doing.
Yes, the Hammond family has distanced themselves, saying, well, we have nothing to do with this protest taking place. Obviously, we don't like it, but we have nothing to do with this protest.
Yeah.
So the Hammond family is not to blame even for this part. The Hammond family says we have no connection whatsoever.
Yeah, because originally it was a peaceful armed protesters just parading in front of the courthouse or something.
Oh, to be clear, the
Yeah.
connection between these two
But
stories...
then they separated.
To be clear, the connection between these two stories is the Hammond family is just now being sent back for 4 years for burning land that they've already served 3 years for, which caused this protest. The earlier story about the
Bundys.
Bundys, Cliven Bundy, the one who was grazing his cattle, his son is the one who just took this building.
So what was the second reason? Oh, the second reason why they were occupying this building in this national sanctuary, right?
Yes, the building is located in the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge.
Yeah, and it was an empty building, and they broke into it. This was the fringe group that separated from the main parade,
Led by
yeah.
Ammon Bundy, the son of Cliven Bundy.
Yeah, and then they went in. They said they weren't going to budge, and one was, of course, yeah, like you said, that was because of the Hammond situation.
Yes.
And the second situation, they wanted all national lands returned back to the people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they are specifically demanding that the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge be given back to the people.
Sorry,
They would like all of the federal land be given back to the people.
The people in all together, who
Private concerns, such as ranchers.
so not really the people, but specific private ranchers.
I mean, that's just ridiculous because they made these things private land because of the endangered species that are on there being trampled upon.
No, but the thing is,
Yeah.
they're asking for public land to be given to private individuals, not to the people.
Yeah.
Whatever
They're pretty much their version of the people
is me.
is, but pretty much it's already for the people to go over there and admire nature all the time. And to love the beauty of that forest. And to
Because
enjoy
the federal government is holding it in trust for the rest of us.
Yeah.
They are saying it should go to the highest bidder for ranching.
And that's the definition of
Yeah, so these guys are taking over the property because of those two reasons that you specified.
Yeah, I enjoy the fact. So the original dispute on the Bundy Ranch, not the Bunny Ranch, the Bundy Ranch, no one got in any trouble. The government tried to
it's
make
because
them
of-
pay for things. A
the
whole bunch of
militia,
armed militiamen showed up, and the government backed down.
Yeah, they didn't want to make another Ruby Ridge or
Waco
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This time, the sheriff and the people dealing with it have promised that there will be felony actions taken against them once the standoff ends.
So they're gonna probably just let it keep on going.
Yeah. Well, the Bundy brothers. It's not just Ammon Bundy. It's his brother Ryan as well. So actually, both the Bundy boys are in the building, taking
Sounds like
the
some
building
Duke
over.
of Hazzard kind of thing.
Doesn't it?
It's like,
Goes on
those
So-
darn, Bundy boys are at it again.
To be fair to them, though, so far, despite being armed, they've been quite peaceful.
Yes.
They took an abandoned building.
And they haven't damaged it. There's been no damage done.
So, while objectively speaking, they have taken over public property while armed, well, there are comparable actions which
Yeah.
have been used in civil rights protests along the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is a federal building, and it's a felony to carry a firearm in a federal building.
But also to carry a firearm. There's the big difference.
Yeah, and in national parks like that,
taking
it's
taking of
outside.
not abandoned but actually occupied federal building during the fights against the unions. What's that terrible person who dropped out of the Republican races? Please erase it.
Scott Walker.
Scott Walker. Yes. So when Scott Walker was fighting the unions, they took over the state capitol, impeding work, and being disruptive, and actually doing damage on public property. So this is not unheard of, and in that respect, these are even more peaceful and more civil. But going armed into public property and taking it over is quite serious.
Topic number 3.
Saudi Arabia and Iran are getting hostile. Saudi Arabia and Iran are getting hostile.
But you were about to say hi.
With each other.
Yes.
Otherwise.
The other day, Saudi Arabia executed a Shiite cleric named Nimr al-Nimr.
Great pronunciation.
Well, might as well not make it up.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia executed a Shiite cleric. Saudi Arabia is a largely Sunni country. Iran is a largely Shiite country. Iran did not take this well. In fact, a bunch of the Shiites in Iran immediately attacked the Saudi embassy in Tehran, their capital, and took the building. No Saudi people were even present during the attack, so no one was hurt. No diplomats, at least. And this looks like it is escalating between these two. Both very, very large powers in the Middle East. In fact, two of the big power hitters in the region. So, what do we make of this?
We might well add a few things. The Iranians were very angry about the execution of the Shiite cleric, and the Saudis have answered saying, well, he was fomenting terrorism, and they should actually just be thanking us instead. And the Iranians did not permit or push towards the taking of the Saudi embassy. In fact, they arrested many of those who were there.
Though Saudi Arabia has charged Iran of lax security and not protecting ambassadors visiting them.
Yeah, well, in this case, however, they cracked down. They did, however, say that God will throttle the throat of the Saudi for this heinous crime or something along those lines. Their usual colorful language, usually reserved for, talking about the United States. So that's
The great
interesting
Satan.
to hear talk about the what I suppose they'd refer to as the little Satan, unless that's Canada.
All right, let's move on to coffee beans.
Coffee beans! Everybody likes beans. Coffee beans!
Why do you have to stare at me so creepily when you say that?
All right.
I don't even.
I get to talk about Spain.
All right,
Oh,
first
yeah.
coffee bean, we have Alvaro
Gutierrez.
Valladere.
Alvaro-
Gutierrez Valladere.
You need to tell everybody on the
Please.
show your entire name.
Start
name-
out with telling
my
your
entire
entire
name.
Yeah, we all want to know
Well,
your entire
I'll
name.
only go to 8 last names.
There you go.
Álvaro Gutiérrez, Valladares, Álvarez, Aro Sánchez, Rodríguez. That's you only need to learn Álvaro Gutiérrez.
Okay.
And that was his coffee bean. Who's next?
No.
No.
No, that's just
Gonna
my
talk
name.
more about Spain.
It's yes, I'm just gonna talk about Spain. So I'm from a place.
Planet.
Well, we think of ourselves kind of. We're sometimes a little bit conceited. You're right, but a place that has a government and a government which holds elections. These elections were held the 20th of last month, and
Which we actually talked about briefly on the podcast.
and we still don't know who in hell is going to be the president, and that's kind of fun.
Are they still counting the votes? Is that why it's taking so
Oh no,
long to
but
find out
we
who
have a
it is?
parliamentary system, so you don't vote for the president. You vote for the parliament, and the parliament will then vote for the president. And we voted in a parliament which is not capable of coming to any agreement.
Wow.
So the ruling government, the ruling party, got they got the most amount of votes, but did not receive anything close to a majority. In fact, the only way it can get a majority would be to ally itself with the Socialist Party, which refuses to, or an alliance with everyone else. And most of the people who have been elected don't really want to because they are political poison. And so it looks increasingly like we might have to have new elections and just keep going, getting elections after election until the people finally give a parliament that can we can agree on something.
Who's temporarily in charge though? If they haven't had a decision.
The president will remain
Donald Trump.
No.
Did you say fuck no?
I did not.
Oh, I thought you
the
did.
president will remain in functions.
Oh, okay.
And until such a time as a new one is elected. So he is. You know how you call your president lame duck just because he's still there until someone else comes?
He is a lame duck when he cannot be reelected and he has no political capital left to spend.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Well, here we're just extending it. Here it's a lame zombie. It's an already defunct government, a government which has already received the no of the majority of the people. It lost the last elections, nearly wiped out the opposing party. Practically every single province in Spain voted in favor of this government, and now it has fallen to the smallest amount it's had in a very long time, and it's broken the two-party system in Spain. Now we have 4 large parties that are vying for control. Now in other countries, because
I remember you made us a lovely graph to explain
Yes,
it to us
I did.
last time.
Now, in other countries, this happens. You cannot summarize people's political leanings with a two-party system. And what they do is just, get together and say, all right, I will concede this, you will concede that, and we will form a stable government. Not everyone's going to be happy, but we're going to move forward. But this is seemingly impossible right now. So they might have to go to elections. At the same time, before we also spoke of the elections in Catalonia. So the regional elections there had the same results. You have 3 different parties, a coalition and another, who seemed like they wanted to form a united front in order to reach independence from Spain. But once again, the person who is leading, who is the candidate for president, is absolute political poison because, well, he's from a corrupt party. He has helped corrupt people. He is suspected of corruption himself. His political party was actually headquarters was embargoed because of corruption charges. They are under investigation, so nobody wants to put him as president, and he's refusing to step back, saying no, it's me or new elections. And so it seems that as goes Catalonia, so goes Spain.
Fun times for Spain. I'm sure we'll hear more about that when we know more about that.
You will hear no end of it.
All right. Next up, area layers.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we had 2 tornado touchdowns. They were both in El Dorado County, which is near Sacramento. Oh, sorry. One was in El Dorado County, and the other one was Stanislaus County. And this was on Christmas Eve. So they even issued a tornado warning. The thunderstorm that produced the tornado was moving east at about 20 miles per hour, which threatened El Dorado Hills, Cameron Park, Rescue and Shingle Springs, places like that. But it's unlikely that it was on the ground the entire time. It was probably actually hopping up and down on the ground, which is actually kind of cool. I've never seen a tornado hop. It just sounds cute. Just boop.
Hippity hop tornadoes on its way.
Sounds like some Disney cartoon.
It does.
Peter Cotton.
So yeah, there's all sorts of pictures of like telephone poles getting ripped down, trees getting dismembered, houses getting wrecked. It was pretty crazy. I was just spending Christmas Eve talking about tornadoes in Folsom.
Tony.
Okay, so my coffee bean of the week would have to be how I guess there's a birther movement that's going on now that thinks that Ted Cruz is not a U.S. Citizen and not qualified.
Oh my god, it's like a revenge birther group.
Yeah. So
just because he was born in Canada and everyone knows it.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. They're saying it's because he was born in Canada and he had a Canadian dad, but a American mother doesn't qualify him to be president.
Well, it's
like,
not the fact of having a Canadian mother. It's because
an American
of the
mother.
precise wording that says born on United States soil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so Trump is fueling this thing right now.
Of course he is. He was in the original birther movement.
Yeah. Actually, it was Hillary Clinton that started the birther movement, but Trump took it over. Yeah, really.
Which of the two?
Hillary actually started it because
Which birther movement, he's asking?
Oh, the birther movement against Obama.
Oh,
yeah, that's the one she started. But yeah, pretty much Trump is fueling the fire.
You know
for this
what she was doing.
Oh yeah, Trump started is starting the latest birther movement to make sure Ted Cruz doesn't win the Republican nomination.
I don't believe it, but I approve for dramatic irony.
Yeah, but also though, Trump is also saying that this could be an issue in the election when the elections actually start because of what was it? Because of the Democrats could sue. Because there are some Democrats that are going in the birther wagon, on Cruz also.
Of course they would.
And they could put a lawsuit in court, which could cause some issues.
All right. Fun times ahead.
Yeah, fun times.
Fun times for everyone. All right. My tidbit. Has anybody seen how Google is in so much trouble?
No, what did Google do this week?
2 different things. Google's in the news twice in a row. I'm like, literally, both of them are trending right now. Google Translate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use that.
How you type in something and translate it to a different language? Mm-hmm. Well, it turns out there's a slight problem when translating into Ukraine. Google Translate's Ukrainian to Russian function has caused some problems. For example, Russia translates into Ukrainian as Mordor. And Russians translate as occupiers. And soldiers translates as orcs. And Russia's foreign minister, whose name is Sergei Lavrov, translates as sad little horse.
Oh, no. Poor me.
Now, is this because of the function where they allow you to put an alternate translation?
No one's
Translations aren't
quite
always
sure yet.
exact.
No one's quite sure yet. Google has come out and apologized, saying, so we're not 100% sure what's happening right now, but we intend to look into it. So, that happened.
Lovely.
Alright.
Then it is.
Yeah.
So,
I saw the flaw in my logic.
that was my tidbit.
I loved it.
Yeah, nice. Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo. So, until
cup of
next
coffee.
week, to our next show, this is Anthony DeFranco.
With Adam Kincaid, Ariel
Was I
Ayers,
supposed to introduce myself?
Alvaro Gutierrez.
We're not on the ball.
We'll be back next week.